Thanks, Chris, and thank you very much for the opportunity to assemble this panel this afternoon to talk about human factors and human health performance relevant to the ISS and ongoing missions to Mars. I'd like to spend a few minutes introducing our very distinguished and unique and accomplished panelists to my right, and then I'll make just a couple of anecdotal comments and relevant to my position, and then we'll move straight into the presentations. Immediately to my right is Dr. Albert Petrovich Nechayev. Dr. Nechayev is Chief of Science Management Department and candidate of Technical Sciences from the world-famous Institute of Biomedical Problems in Moscow, where much of the world's expertise in space life sciences is resident. Dr. Nechayev is a true human factors expert. He is a graduate of the Moscow Engineering and Physical Institute with a major in automation and electronic devices. And his career interests have been in engineering psychology, ergonomics, and human operator performance. Engineering psychology is a very interesting term, Dr. Nechayev. And having been a physician, spending the last 13 years as an engineer in an organization consisting of thousands of engineers, I myself have developed a keen interest in engineering psychology. But Dr. Nechayev's very accomplished at the national and international level. He's contributed heavily through his to space equipment and ergonomics through his studies in the human-machine systems and human-machine interface, optimization of operator performance. And he's also got a keen interest in creation of modeling and mock-ups. He's a veteran of many international and national presentations. He's been honored in Russia with many awards from the government and medals. And he's a member of the Tchaikovsky Russian Academy of Cosmonauts. Welcome, Dr. Nechayev. To Dr. Nechayev's right is Dr. Mike Duncan. Dr. Duncan is a physician board certified in internal medicine, pulmonary medicine, and critical care. Dr. Duncan is a very experienced practitioner of space medicine. He spent the last decade at the Johnson Space Center, where he was a deputy crew surgeon for 2 space shuttle missions, and also was crew surgeon for the Increment 6 ISS expedition that we heard referenced several times in the last panel. Dr. Duncan was, for several years, the chief of medical operations at the Johnson Space Center, and until recently was deputy chief medical manager at that center. He's currently at headquarters, working in international relations and helping our office. And most notably, Dr. Duncan recently led the NASA delegation down to Chile to help the trapped miners, and I think he'll probably say a word about that in his presentation. To Dr. Duncan's right is Dr. Ron Merrill. Dr. Merrill is a distinguished professor of surgery. He's a medical doctor. He's been chair of the surgical departments at both Yale University and the Virginia Commonwealth University, where he currently is professor emeritus. Dr. Merrill is a world authority on telemedicine and medical informatics. He's an expert in surgical and medical simulations and has vast experience in remote care with actual practice on a worldwide basis in remote environments. He's a longtime associate of NASA, having served as chair of our Aerospace Medicine and Occupational Health Advisory Committee for many years, and also serves currently on the Stafford and FEMOF Commission, which advises both the Russian and the United States governments on ISS safety. He is editor-in-chief of the Journal of Telemedicine and eHealth, and has hundreds, literally hundreds of peer-reviewed publications. Welcome, Dr. Merrill. To Dr. Merrill's right is Mr. Ulrich Kebler. Mr. Kebler has a very unique past. He actually traces his origins to the halcyon days of Apollo. He was born in Burma, Huntsville, Alabama, where his father worked with Wernher von Braun on the original Apollo program. So Mr. Kepler actually grew up in the business. He started his professional career at the Ames Research Center as a systems engineer. He was responsible for the design of a plant habitat for a gravitational biology project there, and he has remained interested and active and productive in gravitational biology and life sciences since then. He currently serves as the senior manager for business development, heading the ISS Utilization Office at Astrium Space Transportation in Friedrichshafen, Germany. To Mr. Kubler's right is Dr. Steve McDaniel. Dr. McDaniel has degrees in biology, genetics, and a PhD in biochemistry from Texas University, most recently Texas A&M. He also served postdoctoral fellowships at the Baylor College of Medicine. He's the author of numerous scientific and technical works in his areas of expertise, including life sciences and biochemistry. He started a company called Reactive Surfaces in 2002, and he currently serves as the company's managing member and chief innovation officer. This is going to be a very interesting presentation with regard to surface coatings that can actually alter and interact with microbial growth on those surfaces, which is a very interesting dynamic that has occurred in spaceflight before. If all of that wasn't enough, Dr. McDaniel also decided to become a lawyer. He obtained his Doctor of Jurisprudence degree from the University of Houston, and he also started a law firm, and he's managing partner of McDaniel and Associates as well. Today he'll concentrate, I'm sure, on his biomedical portfolio. Just a few anecdotal comments from me. My position at NASA entails responsibility for the health of our crews as they venture into this most extreme environment that man has ever entered. And we do interface heavily with the programs. I'm in policy and oversight, but we do have close relationships with the human spaceflight programs, both the International Space Station and the Space Shuttle, and those of the future in NASA. And I do have, at a point in the flight readiness review processes of those programs, a go, no-go vote for proceeding with the mission. So some years ago, I was asked, during a fairly narrow period of time, several times, the following question: Rich, would you vote go for a human spaceflight mission to Mars if the ISS were not utilized to its full extent? Now, thinking about that and not wanting to be quoted one way or the other, depending on who was asking and who was listening, I developed the following answer. It depends on how much time it takes to get there. And when you think about the ISS, what it really gives us is time. It gives us time to, in a continuous fashion, following up with the early programs of Mir and of Skylab and follow-up program with Mir and so on and so forth. It gives us time to observe systems in space, and all systems change in space, from the microorganisms, which we heard during the last panel. They change in space. Humans change in space. Machines, avionics, all systems change in space. And the ISS gives us a time to observe those changes, observe the interaction between systems that those changes engender, and allows us to appreciate things we've never appreciated before. And we're doing that not only in the microorganism world with regard to those, the physiology of single-celled organisms, but also we're seeing new expressions of physiologic change in humans that we never appreciated before. So with that, I would say the ISS is of incalculable value in preparing for human spaceflight beyond low Earth orbit.